All right, establishment Washington is now moving forward with their plan to stop Donald Trump from becoming the 47th president of the United States. These conversations are no longer rumors. They're real, and they're happening behind closed doors in D.C. It's no secret that the political establishment, both Democrat and Republican, fears Trump's return to power. And now they're taking desperate steps to ensure that it doesn't happen. The most recent reports indicate that there are real efforts underway to delay the certification of the election results, with some in Washington even suggesting that they may attempt to block Trump's inauguration. This is all unfolding as we speak, but Trump isn't backing down. He is charging ahead, full steam ahead, with plans to not only reclaim the White House but to strengthen America's national security, bolster the economy, and prepare the nation for what's to come in the next 4 years, and even the next 8. His vision for the future is clear, and he's made it known that he will stop at nothing to make America stronger and safer. Just recently, on Christmas Day, Trump delivered one of the most remarkable holiday messages ever. While most people were focusing on the usual holiday festivities, Trump caused a stir by proposing that Canadians would love to become the 51st state of the United States. The corporate media had a meltdown over this, spending the entire week trying to discredit Trump's statement. But what they didn't realize is that his comments were calculated and strategic. Trump knows that Americans and Canadians alike are frustrated with their respective governments, and he was using the holiday message to draw attention to how much better off Canada could be if it were part of the U.S. Lower taxes, stronger military protection, and more economic opportunities. His comments were a calculated jab at Canada's high taxes, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's failed policies, and the growing threat posed by foreign adversaries like China. This, of course, caused a firestorm in the media, but it also revealed something important. Trump is thinking about ways to make America stronger, and he's not afraid to say it. Meanwhile, back in Washington, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson is finding himself under intense pressure from within his own party. While he was initially seen as a unifying figure in the Republican Party, his recent actions have sparked backlash from MAGA Republicans, and he's now on thin ice. Why? Because last week, Johnson attempted to push through a massive 1,500-page omnibus spending bill just before the Christmas holiday. This bill, which was filled with left-wing spending and proposals that many conservatives despise, was pushed through without giving Republican members a real opportunity to read and understand its contents. It was a massive slap in the face to conservative voters who have been advocating for fiscal responsibility and smaller government. The bill included everything from funding for liberal priorities to wasteful programs that had nothing to do with the needs of the American people.
Watch this.
And the battle for the gavel could delay the certification of President-elect Trump's victory.
Madeline Rivera is live in Washington, and she's got the tea to spill on this. Maddie?
Hi, guys. Good morning. The first order of business for the House when Congress convenes January 3rd is electing a House Speaker. It's all about the bath. The House clocks in with 434 members, with one vacancy, thanks to former Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz. The breakdown is 219 Republicans to 215 Democrats. The Speaker of the House must win an outright majority of all members. Current Speaker Mike Johnson is on thin ice with the right flank of his party after last week's debacle over government spending.
Before the last couple of weeks, I was, in his corner, but now I'm, we should consider what's the best path forward. We do need to consider whether, if we're going to advance Mr. Trump's agenda, whether the current leadership is what we need.
Johnson relied on Democrats to get the final funding bill across the finish line. It's a similar scenario to 2023 when former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy worked with Democrats to keep the government open. Gaetz then triggered the vote to oust McCarthy. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries signals Democrats won't be helping Johnson.
And there will be no Democrats available to save him or the extreme MAGA Republicans from themselves based on the breaching of a bipartisan agreement.
Without a speaker, the House is paralyzed. It can't swear in members, it can't pass legislation, and here's the kicker. It cannot certify the results of the Electoral College on January 6th.
Congress has the power to block Trump from taking office, but lawmakers must act now. Look, they told us they would do this. Never forget Jamie Raskin.
This last-minute move by Johnson angered many in the GOP. especially MAGA Republicans, who have had enough of establishment politicians in both parties. Instead of owning up to his actions and explaining why he did it, Johnson took a different approach. He started leaking information to the press, warning that if Republicans try to oust him as Speaker, it could delay the certification of the election results. That's right. Johnson is threatening to hold up the certification of Trump's victory if MAGA Republicans push for his removal. He's essentially trying to blackmail his own party to keep his grip on power. This move is shocking, especially considering that even former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who was ousted by his own party, handled his departure with more grace than Johnson is displaying right now.
Roll the tape.
Efficient, because what can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job.
At the same time, the Democrats are quietly pushing a backup plan to block Donald Trump from assuming office. This is a strategy that many within the Democratic Party have been pushing for months now, and it involves using the 14th Amendment to disqualify Trump from running for president. Section 3 of the 14th Amendment prohibits anyone from holding public office if they've participated in insurrection or rebellion. The Democrats believe that they can use this provision to argue that Trump's actions leading up to and following the January 6th Capitol riot disqualify him from holding office. For the most part, this idea was seen as a fringe notion, something that wouldn't gain traction. But as Trump's influence within the Republican Party continues to grow, and as his support among voters remains strong, the Democrats are becoming more desperate. They see this as their last chance to stop Trump from returning to the White House. But here's the problem. They can't do it alone. They need help from Republicans who are willing to cross party lines and support the effort. And this is where Mike Johnson's actions are so crucial. By warning that any efforts to remove him as Speaker could delay the certification of the election, Johnson is essentially giving the Democrats the opening they need to block Trump. The situation is tense, and as we get closer to January 6th, the day Congress is set to certify the election results, the stakes couldn't be higher. If Johnson is ousted, or if the Democrats somehow manage to delay certification, it could prevent Trump from being inaugurated on January 20th. This would be a catastrophic blow to the democratic process, and it would set a dangerous precedent for future elections. While all this was happening in Washington, Trump was busy delivering a Christmas message that sent shockwaves through the media. On Christmas Day, Trump wrote a message that was as much about national security as it was about holiday cheer.
To all, including the wonderful soldiers of China, who are lovingly but illegally operating the Panama Canal, where we lost 38,000 people in its building 110 years ago, always making certain that the U.S. puts billions in repair money but will have absolutely nothing to say about anything. Also, to Governor Justin Trudeau of Canada, whose citizens' taxes are far too high, but if Canada was to become our 51st state, their taxes would be cut by more than 60%. Their businesses would immediately double in size, and they would be militarily protected like no other country anywhere in the world. Likewise, to the people of Greenland, which is needed by the United States for national security purposes and who want the U.S. to be there, and we will, Trump's been.
And let's not forget the strategic implications. The Panama Canal, as Trump pointed out, is critical to U.S. economic and military interests. China has been steadily increasing its influence in the region, and it's crucial that the U.S. take action to ensure that it doesn't lose control of such a vital choke point. Canada, with its abundant natural resources and strategic location, could be a key player in countering China's growing power.
Watch.
Dear Americans, on behalf of all the Americans who are ready to join the United States, I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of citizenship which I am about to enter. So help me God.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Trump just said Merry Christmas as well, and look what he said. He said Governor Justin Trudeau of Canada, whose citizens are taxed too high, but if Canada was to become our 51st state, their taxes would be cut by more than 60%. Sounds pretty good.
In another part of the country, California voters delivered a major blow to the left-wing policies that have plagued the state for years. Proposition 36, which was overwhelmingly approved by voters, is a major step toward restoring law and order in California. The proposition rolls back the criminal justice reforms that have led to a rise in crime, and it gives law enforcement more power to charge criminals with felonies. This is a significant victory for the people of California, who have grown tired of seeing their streets overrun by criminals with little to no consequences.
Watch this.
There's 41 million Canadians, basically the population of California, sitting on the world's largest amounts of all resources, including the most important, energy and water. Canadians over the holidays, the last 2 days, have been talking about this. They want to hear more. And so, there's obviously a lot of issues, more details, but what this could be is the beginning of an economic union. Think about the power of combining the two economies, erasing the border between Canada and the United States, and putting all that resource up to the northern borders where China and Russia are knocking on the door. So secure that, give a common currency, figure out taxes across the board, get everything trading both ways, create a new, almost EU-like passport. I like this idea, and at least half of Canadians are interested. The problem is the government's collapsing in Canada right now. Nobody wants Trudeau to negotiate this deal. I don't want him doing it for me, so I'm going to go to Mar-a-Lago. I'll start the narrative. The 41 million Canadians, I think most of them would trust me on this deal.
Charge criminals with felonies. What a concept. It was called Prop 36.
Governor Gavin Newsom and other Democrats fought hard against Proposition 36. But the people spoke loud and clear. Enough is enough.
Watch this.
How did you vote on Prop 36? So my ballot is on its way to California, and I'm going to trust the system that it will arrive there. And I am not going to talk about the vote on that because honestly, it's the Sunday before the election, and I don't intend to create an endorsement one way or another around it. But I did vote.
And the results are already being seen in California. This is a sign of things to come. With Proposition 36 in place, California is sending a message to criminals. There are consequences for your actions. And for the first time in years, Californians are beginning to feel safer in their communities.
Roll the tape.
A new viral video showing an accused shoplifter shocked to learn that she may face a felony charge for theft. The Southern California Police Department is now reminding folks about the new Prop 36 law that cracks down on low-level theft. Matt Finn, live in Los Angeles to explain all of this. Memo to shoplifters, you can now be prosecuted.
That's right, John. And here in California, we've reported on countless cases of brazen theft, shoplifting with no significant consequences. But last month, California voters overwhelmingly approved the new law, Prop 36, which rolls back criminal justice reform policies that critics say led to overwhelming crime. Police and prosecutors now have more leeway to charge crimes as felonies. Like this video from Seal Beach in Orange County. 3 women walk into an Ulta beauty store and then a Kohl's, casually stealing whatever they want, not even trying to conceal some of their stolen goods. Even after leaving the stores, the women, they're in no rush, but are surprised when Seal Beach police run up on them, and after a short chase, they arrest the thieves. Take a listen here as a police camera captures 2 of these young women talking about their shock that they were arrested for a felony.
It's a felony? New laws. Stealing is a felony. And this is Orange County. They don't play.
The 3 women were booked into an Orange County jail on charges of grand theft, conspiracy to commit a crime, and resisting arrest.
So there you have it. A look at the battle for the future of America. From the ongoing struggle to block Donald Trump from taking office to his bold Christmas message to Canadians, The political landscape is shifting. And with Proposition 36 in California showing signs of success, it's clear that Americans are starting to take a stand against the left-wing policies that have dominated for too long. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll be bringing you more updates on these important issues as they develop. Stay tuned.